Productions. I'm a worldwide nominated documentary filmmaker. I'm currently working on several projects. I see a lot of hats around here that actually is one of my projects. Last year, I'm also finishing up a master's degree, and I took a class with the head of the Religious Studies Department at Georgia State University. And it was another graduate student that knew about that I was doing a film on African American Muslim veterans. So she said, you should tell the professor. When I told her, she was so excited. The grad students didn't like it. They got upset with me at first, but she added a project where she gave me 9 other graduate students so that I could hurry up and do my project. And we went out and we filmed 10, 11 stories of African American Muslim veterans, and those stories were sent into the Congress so they're accessible in the Congress now for in the Veterans Library, as well as I'm using those stories for a documentary. And she went and made good on her promise, and Georgia State is getting a grant so that one of the veterans, he came up with the idea that he felt that veterans need to take their family members, because their family members really don't understand what they went through, and he wanted to take a group of veterans and their families to Vietnam, back to where the fighting happened, as a healing. And Georgia State is actually actively they already filled out the grant form to get the money to actually do that. So a lot of people in our community down in Atlanta, inshallah, probably sometime next year or maybe in the next couple years, will inshallah be taking their families back to Vietnam. So that's just one of the major projects that I'm working on. But I am a documentary filmmaker. Currently, I'm working on a major documentary that I shot in Turkey earlier this year on Turkey's politics and the Syrian refugee crisis, and that's due by the end of this month because it's getting sent off to Sundance. So inshallah, I need your du'as for that, because if I get chosen for that, it's really big for not only me, but definitely for this community. So, yeah. Oh yeah, filmbyam.com.
Okay, hold on just a second. The president asked me to let a young man he's got to get out of here, but he stopped in. He wanted to speak last night, but he didn't get an opportunity to speak at the banquet. But he's a representative from Islamic Relief. So would you come up and he wants to give the greetings and give a few minutes presentation, and then we'll resume with the business people.
Thank you, brother. You're welcome. Assalamu alaikum. Good morning. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. I just want to thank you, the Imam, for giving me these few minutes. It's really much impromptu. And I will be brief because I see there's so much talent, so much wonderful work that's going on. People want to be able to present. First, I don't make it to Chicago often. I came here quite often when I was a young child. With my family, I'm from Los Angeles, but my family's originally from Mississippi. And like so many of our families, during the Great Migration, our family members dispersed all over the country. And I remember the pleasure always coming for 3 summers. I think it was 7, 8, and 9. I'm not a young man anymore. But coming to this great town and visiting my family, and Uncle Bully and Aunt May and all those folks, special memories. And I'm looking forward to actually on Tuesday seeing a cousin who I used to run the streets in Chicago when I was a little kid. First time in 33 years. I guess like all good things, we find each other on Facebook nowadays, But alhamdulillah. But with that being said, coming to Chicago this year, I work for Islamic Relief. And I know many of you know Islamic Relief. You see our banners, in the newspapers, various Muslim organizations. And I also want to say thank you for many of you I know who donate to Islamic Relief. You trust us with your zakat and your charitable donations, and we work very hard to maintain and protect your relationship with Allah, with your zakat. But quite often, there's another convention that takes place in this city. It's a wonderful convention. There's great work, great organization, ISNA. We should, be proud of the work that they do. But when I joined Islamic Relief a couple years back, I saw a glaring disparity where there's another great community, a great convention, a great national network of people, organizations, people who do important work at the local level, saving lives, changing lives, and building bridges amongst communities, reflected in the Wafdi Muhammad community. And so when I said this year, when I started traveling more for my work, I said, if I'm going to Chicago, I don't mind going stopping by a few times over to ISNA. I've been here, you've seen, most of you have seen me, I've been here for these first 2 days. I'll go spend a little time this afternoon at ISNA, I'll give them some time. But I said, I'm gonna be at the Wharf Muhammad community. And I said that why? Because in my life, when I became Muslim, back in 1992 in Los Angeles, my home base, and continue to be my home base, is Masjid Badallah in Los Angeles. Now, many of you know good brother, Imam Sadiq Safir, and now his young brother, his son, Brother Jihad Safir, has taken on the mantle. And I still say, I love my mom. When I go home and I get to my house, I say, I love seeing my mom, but I'm not home in LA until I get to Masjid Badallah. And so when I knew when I came to Chicago, yes, I'll be amongst Muslims and believers when I go to the other conventions and other places, but I'm not home until I get here to the Wharf Muhammad Community Convention. Why? Because again, very much the values that we express in Islamic Relief in our work, because we strive to work with people who what? Who live Quran, who establish the prayer, and who work good deeds and charity and build institutions in their communities. So if there's the convention I'm gonna be at is at the Wharf Muhammad community, because I know that's what's happening at the local level in these cities across the country where people are in need. And who's at the forefront, who's been to the forefront, who will continue to be, is you in this room, your partners, your families, your networks from Los Angeles to New York. And I see we had a sister here representing someone from Bermuda. And I know this is an international movement. So I just wanted to say, it's my honor to be here. I'm with family when I'm here. And I know because we share that same spirit. And I wanted to have Islamic Relief here because first I want to thank so many, when the work that we do here domestically, many of our domestic partners, whether it's food pantries, homeless shelters, domestic violence response organizations, many of those are Wharf Muhammad community related centers, whether again it's Masjid Badallah in Los Angeles, Masjid Muhammad with the good Imam Talib Sharif in Washington, D.C., Masjid al-Islam down in Dallas, and so forth. You are valued partners. So that's why we came here this year. We weren't doing hardcore fundraising like we do some other conventions. I wanted to be here to show support for your community, that we're here, and as long as I'm with Islamic Relief, we will continue to be with you and continue to partner. So in future years, please let me know. Please remember name Jihad Saleh Williams at Islamic Relief if you want to know how we can be a partner with you. If you're starting up a food pantry, if you're starting up a community center, and you want to, you're looking for those funds to go scale up. If you need technical support, how we can help you engage with Department of Agriculture, Department of Health and Human Services. Use our resources. Let us be your voice, your partner in Washington, D.C. that helps you get connected with these valuable resources that can help you scale up, again, ultimately to save lives, improve lives, and build stronger connections and networks in your community from your homes. So again, I want to thank you so much. May Allah bless all of you, protect all of you in your travels back home, and I look forward to not just seeing you next year again, but hopefully in my travels throughout the country at some time throughout this given year. Assalamu alaikum.
Allahu Akbar.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Bashir Aleem. I'm a fine artist from Detroit, Michigan.
Yeah, let's speak better tonight.
Assalamu alaikum. Is that better? My name is Bashir Aleem. I'm a fine artist from Detroit, Michigan. I had the pleasure of presenting Imam Muhammad with a drawing that I did in around 2005. I came to Chicago to buy some halal sausage, and I was going to drop the poster by the office to see if they could have him review it. Well, to my surprise, he was in the office. He welcomed me and he accepted a copy of the drawing, and it was such an honor to meet and spend a few minutes talking with him. And that was actually the second time that I had run into Imam Muhammad in a private setting, and we had a decent conversation. I never asked him to distribute the poster. I never asked him for any signatures or any acknowledgement. He liked it, and I had made copies of it, and it was so cherished, I wanted to keep every copy, so I haven't even distributed it. I decided last year to start distributing the poster, and I have it at a booth here. The poster is called The First Resurrection. Those who've been by my booth have seen it, and I've sold a few copies. There's 100 limited editions of that poster. I've done other work also. I've done work that has been shared with Isaiah Washington. I did a piece called Zulu Warrior, which I shared with him here in Chicago in 2010, and other work that's been in shows across the country. My goal is to accentuate the Islamic quality in household items such as fine arts, kitchen utensils, cups, wall hangings, drawings, anything that will identify your household as a Muslim household. Because right now, culturally, it's hard to tell when you walk into a household whether it's a Christian, Muslim, or Jew, because we don't have the artifacts accessible that other cultures have. So my goal is to work with other artists to develop a good sound direction for the Muslim arts. And I thank Imam Muhammad for his support in doing it, because I've been involved with the community for a long time, actually since 1975. I started with the Nation in 72. And in 75, when the Imam came along, as the brother said earlier, I felt freed, because he took away some of the shackles that we had as artists, especially because we were kind of locked into doing things that weren't necessarily part of our direction. So thanks for the time to listen, and inshallah, if you stop by my booth, you'll see what I'm heading for, where my direction is, and you take a look at the drawing that Imam accepted. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.